Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we have a repeat client. We got a Toyota 4Runner back here for us, full detail, just to show you guys that when you guys do good work, the clients call you back. We did her first vehicle a few weeks ago and we got her back on the schedule. She's scheduled same day for this guy. So we're back here taking care of it for her. Check out the video. We're gonna have some tips and tricks for you as always, so stay tuned. We got Sal's taking care of the door jambs right now, but this is gonna be full interior and exterior detail on a Toyota 4Runner. It's not in bad condition. It looks like there's, a little bit of ashes here and there. Just, it looks like they use it for work. It's a utility vehicle and it looks like they're using it for its intended purpose, It looks like kind of an outdoorsman. So we got some, we got some stuff in here, grass and some trimmings from it looks like, maybe, I don't know if they hunt or something, but yeah, there's stuff in there. And then, nothing crazy, cloth seats, but it doesn't look like there's any stains. Driver's seat, couple little stains, maybe coffee spills here and there, but I think we'll be able to get that with a light drill brush. I don't think we're gonna need any extracting. So we're just gonna take care of that. Exterior, we're gonna do a wash, remove all this grime down here, probably touch up the black trim on the running boards and all the guys around here, get the rims all nice and cleaned up again, and yeah, give it a one-step polish, and yeah, it should do the trick on this guy. Should look good.
All right, Joel, so it's December, it's raining, and a lot of detailers are losing business because it's raining, so they either get canceled or rescheduled. But how do you deal with this?
So at the beginning, I did small little, I still had the first winter, I still had my part-time job. So that kind of helped me through that time. It was a little rough, but I still had something to kind of fall. I was working nights at a grocery store. So I was, stocking shelves, so it wasn't interfering with the detailing business. So I had that to kind of ride me through. And then I started doing other things, with the tools and all the techniques and everything that I had kind of acquired with the business. I was able to transfer that over into different fields. But as far as with the client relations and communications, when rescheduling, if somebody calls and says, oh, I want to cancel the appointment, my method is to make sure that I stay ahead of it. So I'm communicating with the client, making sure that they know exactly what's going on with the weather. Just because the forecast has rain droplets on the icon doesn't necessarily mean it's going to rain. I always check the precipitation levels, the chances of rain. If it's only a 10% or 20% chance of rain, it may not have any effect. Or if it's early in the morning or late in the evening, if the customer puts their car in the garage, if it's parked outside, all of those play a factor. But I think the most effective method is to just stay ahead of it, let the client know that you're aware of what's going on, so you're putting their best interests first. So it's not like, oh yeah, we're gonna detail your car and then it's all on you when it rains. That's not our problem. Don't take that route. Stay ahead of it, schedule accordingly, and accommodate them.
Got it. This week, did you have to postpone any details, push them back, or start at a later date?
Last week I did. Last week I had to postpone some, and then next week coming up, it looks like we have, I wanna say on Monday, I think we're full of rain. But I don't have anything scheduled for them, but I think Tuesday I'm gonna have to reschedule something. But what I'll do is, I like to leave open slots in my schedule. So I'll leave like half a day open here or half a day open there. So I always have somewhere to put one of the clients in. All right guys, so if you notice here, I'm cleaning this area, the driver's section. The driver's area is the most used part of the vehicle because there's always somebody in this section here. But here's a little area that is often overlooked. This is the area where the seatbelt retracts back in. So all the grime, all the oils, anything that's, if you're wearing a dirty shirt or you just got off of work, something's gonna get on here eventually. So do you see the buildup through here?
Yep,
This is all just grime coming out that comes off the seatbelt and then retracts back in as it's, you know, as it pulls back in. It's rubbing against and leaving all this residue. So to get this out, you can use a degreaser with a brush. You can use, you know, one of those little scrub pads. For me, I like to go in there with steam, and steam usually does a trick. So I'm just gonna show you briefly, you know, if you have a steamer, how to utilize it and get this stuff knocked out within a matter of seconds. This one's a little tougher, and these can be tough, guys, because sometimes these vehicles are a little bit older and you never know how long they've gone without having a detail or ever being cleaned. So here, you know, the results are always going to vary, but it looks like we have a good turnaround here. But I'm gonna work all the way through all this little section here.
That's how you would get an area like that. Steam really helps out.
Oh yeah, steam's definitely gonna help out. You know, you could even spray a little bit of Enviro Clean in there, let it soak down, massage it in with the light brush, and then go through with the steam to get optimal results. I'm not looking for any residue to be left over, so I'm just hitting it with the steam. But that's a easy solution for that, guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna show you a great trick that I use for my interior piano black and glossy surfaces. So this is gonna be an off-label use for one of my favorite products, Bead Maker by PNS Double Black. The link is going to be below for this item. I want to show you guys what this does for piano black and the experience that the client's going to have after receiving this. You know, basically just you know, it's basically just going to be protecting the surfaces, create a nice gloss, and it's going to help with fingerprinting, spotting and staining, things like that. So you're basically putting a paint protectant on the interior surfaces, but all these have thin coatings on them, so it's going to be safe to add this guy. So what I'm not going to spray anything directly onto the surfaces. I'm going to just give it a light mist, a very light mist. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just wipe it over all the piano black areas, and then I'm just going to give it a quick buff out. So you're not leaving any fingerprints, you're not leaving any streaks. Some all-purpose cleaners and some interior cleaners will leave streaks or residue from flashing, but this Bead Maker will help you when you're finishing up to leave a beautiful glossy surface that's going to help with fingerprinting, and it's actually going to be a protectant as well. So you're only benefiting the client and the vehicle by doing this. And there you go. All piano black trim. I do it on any of the labels here. All the hard surfaces that have any kind of gloss, it's going to make a huge difference. Even these, even the gauge covers here, any of the screens, it's going to help prevent the fingerprinting, especially, you know, if it's a newer vehicle and that's where the multimedia unit is present. They're constantly touching it, so you want to make sure that that stays clean. And then also any little chrome areas. So if you can see, there's residue here. There's streaking and residue. So it doesn't leave the best finish. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through with the Bead Maker really quick on the black piano black surface as well as the chrome, and then we're going to buff it out. And now you have a nice clean surface. That's what your client wants to see when you're charging them for a detail. These are the finishers, and these are really the things that are going to set it off. You're detailing now a detailed vehicle. So now you're going to another level. It's not just clean, it's finished.
All right, Joel. Hey, man, what did you spray that's turning the car like purple?
It's the iron remover. So these are all the all the embedded contaminants and iron that's dissolving from the reaction from the iron remover. So what I'm doing with this vehicle is we already gave it the foam, we already gave it the Enviro Clean, and then we gave it a good pressure washing. So now what I'm gonna do, since I already know that I'm gonna be doing a one-step polish, the vehicle did not have a lot of like heavy contaminants I could feel on the surface. These, it just feels like maybe they drove through somewhere where there was like light fallout. So there's a lot of particles of iron that are coming out. So what I'm going to do is, since I don't have the clay bar, it's not at that point, it looks worse than it actually is. So with the clay bar, you know, we would have to be pulling off heavy stuff. This guy, I'm basically just hitting it to try to get the contaminants off to save my polishing pad. Because if I didn't do this, then my polishing pad would fill up with contaminants a little bit more. But we're just doing a quick one-step cosmetic polish. So I'm actually putting the iron remover on, then I'm gonna foam over it, then I'm gonna work it in. So we're gonna actually be agitating it as well, basically giving the soap an extra boost to really clean this thing nice before the polish. So we're doing 2 steps in one pretty much. All right, guys, I want to show you guys the advantages of a drying aid and why I'm really adamant about using drying aids, because even on an unprotected vehicle like so, what's going to happen is the drying process is a part that's super vital, super important, and without having to go through like 4 or 5 drying towels, you know, we're using air. Most people are using, you know, just the drying towel itself, but to save time and to really ensure you're not, you know, you're preventing water spots on the highest level. If you look here, this is going to be an unprotected surface.
So unprotected what?
There's no protection on it. There's no wax, there's nothing. And this has been hit with iron remover. We washed it with the pH balanced soap that doesn't have any waxes or sealants in it. So this is basically an unprotected surface. So now when I spray it, I have the drying aid on it, the reaction is going to be completely different. For something that's unprotected, usually it'll sheet off very slow, or the water will just stay stagnant in an area. So after applying my drying aid, I'm going to spray this section, and you look at the water behavior. It's as if it's a coated vehicle.
Yeah, it falls.
So that's pretty impressive for, you know, for a drying aid, you know, on an unprotected surface. Usually you see that kind of reaction on something that's a sealant, you know, something graphene or something that's well protected. But here you get to see how my drying aid is reacting. So that's a big percentage of the water that I'm not gonna have to dry off because it's already leaving the surface.
Got it. Would this be, because Bead Maker does something similar, no? What's the difference?
Some people could use Bead Maker as a drying aid. I like to use something that's a little bit more effective. And then also if Bead Maker dries on the surface, it flashes because Bead Maker starts to cure. What I'm starting to use and what I've been developing and using and kind of playing with ratios is something that you can put on any weather, any vehicle, and it's actually going to give you a little bit of time as you're drying. So if you're using it in the summer, it's going to give you a small window, you know, a little bit longer. It's going to extend out that drying time opposed to just having just the water on the surface, because it does have a little bit of sealant in it and protection, but it's nothing that's going to cure on the surface. You just want this water behavior, and that was my biggest thing, is I needed something with crazy water behavior for, you know, for detailers. If you're working under certain elements, you want to make sure that as much of the water is leaving the surface as soon as possible.
Hey, the car has some scuffs in the front.
Yeah, it has quite a bit of scuffs. Yeah.
What are you? Hey, man, just letting you know, the glasses, they fit you, bro.
They're a little too small, but when you're polishing white paint, all my detailers out there, you know what's up. You try polishing paint, man, you'll be blind in about an hour. Reyes could barely take it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got some scuffs on the edges here. Here, it looks like maybe, you know, people walking by, or maybe he's parking in a place where he's kind of having to fit through a tight area, or maybe he's just, you know, I don't know, maybe he's just he or she, whoever's driving the vehicle, maybe they're just a little clumsy and, you know, use the front, you know, to kind of hit things, you know, as a guide. Either way, I'm going to show you how to remove these. Let's try to do it without any additional takes. Let's just try to see how fast I can get it done. I'm guessing I can get them both done in 1 minute and 30 seconds.
All right, I'll put the timer on for you. Ready, set, go.
Where we at?
No way.
Where we at?
35 seconds.
35 seconds, both of them?
Yep. Then that quick? What are you using?
All right, guys. Rupes Bigfoot Mini. You can get this at Detailed Image, 10% off coupon in the link below. CarPro Flash Pad. You can find it same place, Detailed Image, 10% coupon in the description, as well as Rupes Uno. I have that listed individually in the description below, or you can do the same thing. Go to Detailed Image, 10% off.
There you guys have it. Some more tips and tricks. Need you to leave a comment if you guys have any questions or any advice for us. And if you like this video and you want to see more, like and subscribe. See you on the next one.